is intercepted.
When you hear the name Sanders, football royalty comes to mind. But Shedeur Sanders isn't just carrying the name, he's building a legacy of his own. From Jackson State to Colorado, and now the NFL.
It's been like that for my whole life. You know, they said I couldn't do it in high school, and I did it. They said I couldn't do it in Jackson, I did it. Said I couldn't do it in Colorado, I did it. So it's like...
Let's unravel the story of a quarterback who was never supposed to fit the mold because he was built to break it. Chapter 1, Humble Beginnings.
Everything is earned with Shedeur. You turn on the tape, that's your proof right there.
Shedeur, of course, would grow up in the spotlight. The son of one of the most electrifying athletes of all time, Shedeur Sanders, makes headlines.
Just because he's born in success and fame that he don't have to work for that.
He just seemed to like block all that out.
But from day one, Shedeur was carving his own lane. At Trinity Christian High School in Texas, he led his team to multiple state titles, showing early signs of elite accuracy, composure, and leadership. Shedeur was ranked as a 4-star recruit, and it wasn't just his individual play that got people talking. His team was winning games too.
It's a natural born leader, you know.
Along with winning state titles, he went 47-5 as a starter, threw for 12,627 yards and 166 total touchdowns.
High school football, Shedeur go down as a win.
Yeah, stats are good, but what really stood out, it wasn't just the numbers, it was the decision making. At 17 years old, he was playing like he was 25, polished, and ready for the next level.
Easily best quarterback in the country.
Chapter 2, Jackson State Dominance. When Shedeur committed to Jackson State, the HBCU in Mississippi, critics said it was just a publicity move, another stunt by him and his father to get more attention. After all, Dion, who served as offensive coordinator for Shedeur in high school, is now the head coach at JSU. It raised some eyebrows. Despite the hype and a little hate, what followed was a historic run that shattered records and stereotypes. His run at Jackson State made him the Walter Payton Award winner, a SWAC champion, led his team to a 23-3 record, a perfect 16-0 in the SWAC, totaled 6,983 yards, 70 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and ran in 9 on the ground just for giggles. But more than the stats, Shedeur brought national attention back onto HBCU football. He played with poise, ran an air raid offense, and showed he could command a locker room. Chapter 3, Colorado Shockwaves. Of course, once the announcement came that Dion was packing up shop to become the new head coach at Colorado University, Shedeur was right behind him. The move to CU was bold, it was loud, and it was a little messy. Critics said Shedeur would struggle. The Pac-12 is now Power 5 competition. This was real football. Well, his response? Game 1 versus TCU was a moment nobody will forget. A near-perfect game against a ranked team, fresh off a national title appearance, 510 passing yards and 4 tubs. The Sanders era at Colorado started with a bang. And Shedeur, he looked NFL ready. It wasn't all sweet, especially for their leader Shedeur. CU would beat up on Nebraska, follow that up with a double overtime victory September 16, 2023 against in-state rival Colorado State. Shedeur shined in the heated matchup as his go-to playmaker Travis Hunter was forced out the game with an injury. Shedeur, of course, still wanted that smoke and wouldn't stop making plays, delivering big boy throws, including the game-winning touchdown and 2-point conversion. Their next games, all in conference matchups, kind of proved the critics right. It wouldn't end as good for Shedeur and the Buffs. Blowouts, heartbreak.
He gets rid of it. Picked off in the end zone. Win. The Cardinals storm into Boulder.
And a lack of talent contributed to the Buffs losing 8 of the next 9 matchups. The 23 season did not end pretty. People could still doubt him and his numbers, but what he put up in year 1 at a Power 5 school proved Shedeur and his style belonged on this stage. Hype and expectations turned into pressure to deliver bigger and better at Boulder, and the 2024 season left little excuses for him and the team. Questions about how good Shedeur was playing quarterback were answered as he improved his already historic completion percentage. He threw for more yards and touchdowns, all while posting a 9-4 record for the 2024 season with a trip to the Alamo Bowl booked. BYU did stomp out the Buffs and expose some flaws in Shedeur's game.
Sanders in trouble and sack. Gets out of there, finally goes down. Look at the numbers for Sanders. Pressure up the middle, in trouble again. You see how important a tackle it's been. Down Sanders, dangerous throw, and intercepted.
And if you were undecided on Shedeur, it did confirm some fears you already had about him. After that game, you can summarize his whole career. Either you thought Shedeur was a fraud who held the ball too long and got himself destroyed every Saturday looking for that big play and only had a good completion percentage because the offense under Pat Shurmur and his father coach who made sure he had had checkdowns and easy reads to massage his stats. Keep the chains moving and take the underneath stuff all day long, right? And while the criticisms are fair, the context really does matter here. Chapter 4, the mechanics of greatness. At Colorado, his career numbers are set. In 2024, he did manage to win Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. But let's break down what makes or doesn't make Shedeur elite. His overall scouting report: he can read defenses, he has great touch passes, has deep ball accuracy, and pocket presence. But let's take it a step further.
When you talk about what Tom Brady was able to do in the NFL, Shedeur Sanders will go about his business the same exact way.
Shedeur can throw the ball off platform, he's accurate on deep outs, fade shots, and short throws, and the great touch on his passes gives receivers the ability to run after the catch. Football IQ: Shedeur is routinely changing protections, reading coverages, adjusting mid-play, in addition to having command of a pro-style shotgun zone read offense under offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur, and who's also not a quarterback whisperer if we're going to be honest. Poise: anybody watching Colorado games know Shedeur can take a hit, but he can also evade some sacks and get out of some sticky situations. However, we are talking about dodging a lot of hits. Still, he is a relentless playmaker, keeping his eyes down the field, finding open receivers time and time again. Given time to stand in the pocket, he can reset his feet, get his shoulders squared, and is not often forced or rushed into a bad decision. And let's talk about his leadership. Shedeur leads by example, he holds teammates accountable, and been a part of improving 2 college programs. We know he talks the talk of a confident player, and let's be honest, if you was in a situation, wouldn't you? But his confidence isn't just something that helps him, it rubs off on his teammates and inspires them to play well. But we got to talk about his negatives. Shedeur has a bad habit of letting the rush collapse on him rather than getting the ball out of his hand. Sometimes he's looking for the big play, which comes at a price. And while he is confident, that can be seen as arrogance. His arm strength is not elite out of this world, and while he is mobile, Shedeur is not going to outrun most players in college, and especially in the pros.
We're wondering what kind of NFL quarterback can he. Why? Because he doesn't have the great arm, he's not going to run a 4.6, and he's not 6'4".
Due to the bad habits of holding onto the ball, Shedeur can be inconsistent with his footwork in the pocket. He was noticeably jumpy during the Alamo Bowl beatdown. So, what does this mean? Well, honestly, Shedeur is not going to fit every style and locker room in the NFL, but that's not scheme related. That's team environment related. He is a typical pocket passer. Every team needs that. He broke the FBS record for completion percentage all time. That's over Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Brock Purdy, just to name a few. At 6'2", with a smaller build, he isn't the ideal size to withstand punishment at the NFL level. Yes, he's going to have to gain muscle mass to protect himself and get through a 17-game season. And he won't be a dual threat rushing for 100 yards a game. That said, the things that he can do: be accurate, polished, smart, and confident with the ball in his hands.
We watched him do it over and over and over again. Put the film on and you block out all of the outside noise. He plays the position like the position is supposed to be played.
Would make me comfortable making him my quarterback, but that's me. Here's the plan. I'd draft him and I'd sit him to start the season. Unless I have a loaded roster or I have an injury at the position, then of course he would have to start week 1. But I would prefer for him to wait until at least week 6 through week 10. That's a sweet spot for him. He should be acclimated to the NFL by then, understand the offense, the locker room, and what it takes to be a pro at this level. And once he starts, I let him do what he do from there. He for sure won't get the star treatment because of who raised him. Chapter 5, the shadow of Deion. It's impossible to talk about Shedeur without mentioning his dad. Everything that Coach Prime was as a player, persona-wise, extended to Shedeur. But here's the thing, Shedeur isn't just Deion's son anymore. He earned the spotlight. He's in the most important position on the field, and you can see he's been prepared to play football at every level. And while Deion built the platform, it was a gift and a curse.
Did they have a reality TV show happening at the same time via social media? Yes. Did they have a documentary happening at the same time? Yes.
Shedeur built his own narrative. The price for having such a well-known parent keeps a target on Shedeur's back. Not everyone will admit if they just don't like him or his father. Once all the talking is done, fam, Shedeur's resume will speak for itself. The ultimate gift and curse that Deion brought to his son was that while at Jackson State and Colorado, while they did get guys like Travis Hunter, they weren't able to put a full stacked team around Shedeur. I mean, imagine him having Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase on his team, or Ashton Genty, a Malik Neighbors, a Jeremiah Smith. Point being is that he didn't have the luxury of playing around a bunch of elite first-round talent, and I think Deion underestimated how hard it would be to get guys to come to Jackson State or Colorado. But what would Shedeur have looked like if he had that kind of talent around him and Travis Hunter? Chapter 6. What's next?
He feels to me right now like the focal point of this draft is Shedeur Sanders.
NFL scouts and players are watching, critiquing, and still hating. Some have him as a top 5 pick in 2025. Others say he's not tested enough yet. He didn't play against Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, Miami, Texas.
And there's a lot of people bringing up, well, how many wins did they have in Colorado? It's like they literally rebuilt a program over there.
And now he pats the ball in training videos and his pro day, so that debate has surfaced too.
People talking about his pro day and whether or not he's patting the ball.
All this is dropping him mostly down draft boards, leading people to remember they have questions about him on field and off the field. And some are going as far as to say he's not even worthy of a first-round pick.
Whether or not Shedeur is the guy for your team, I guess comes down to a couple people enjoying his personality. Is that kind of what it is now?
Comparing him and Cam Ward to other quarterbacks in previous draft classes. That makes for a biased argument, but that's what people are doing now, I suppose. If you're watching the film or looking purely at stats, the answer is clear. Shedeur Sanders isn't just rising, he's already here. Not only is he worth being a first-round pick, but dropping to certain organizations that could have him sit and learn, or has enough talent around him where he can start day one, but with less pressure on him to make big play after big play, in my evaluation, will make him a long-term success in the NFL. Fit is always important for a quarterback. Shedeur is no different.
Because it's about the situation.
The rise of Shedeur Sanders isn't just about a quarterback. It's about redefining a legacy. He didn't choose the easy path. He chose the path where he could prove the most. And game by game, throw by throw, he's proven it. The moral of this story is founded by remembering a single quote. Don't judge a book by its cover. Shedeur will be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And I bet it won't be his last name that keeps the next chapter of his football journey turning.
I feel like I'm the number 1 quarterback, and that's what I know. But at the end of the day, I'm not stuck on that. So whatever situation, whatever franchise believes in me, gives me the opportunity, and I'm excited to go.